Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me to another episode of Music with Nick. Today we got a marathon for the weekend, and this is requested by Jeff. Thank you so much, Jeff, for sponsoring this marathon, and it's going to be quite amazing. I do know all three bands in question here, but not the specific song. So let me go ahead and read those off to you. Here they are on my list. And here we go. So we got one, and I did one marathon before doing this, and I kind of messed it up. I read these titles in the other one, but I fixed it in the end for Greybeard. Okay, so for Jeff, we have the Allman Brothers Band. We're gonna do Trouble No More. We're gonna do the Marshall Tucker Band. Every Day I Have the Blues, and we're gonna do the Outlaws. So as you know, I've done some marathons with these three particular bands in question. I recall the Outlaws, that cover that I'm gonna do, because I did the Outlaws. That was a lot of fun. I think I did. Give me 1 second. Oh man, I don't remember, but I think it was the most famous one on this album. But today we're gonna do another very famous one, 9 minutes 52 seconds. Then the Marshall Tucker Band, we're gonna do a 12, almost 13-minute epic, and then a little shorter one for the Allman Brothers, Trouble No More. So I'm super ready for this. Thank you so much, Jeff, for sponsoring this marathon. Look, Marley is even here, waiting. Maybe he can hear through the headphones, maybe. So he is here, he's playing, he's happy, and let's start it off. So thank you so much. Here we go. Everyone who's new to the channel, if you like, you can subscribe for more content. Alexa and I, we do a lot of videos together. I do a little bit more as of late because she can't sit this long. So I just try whenever I have time, make a video, make a marathon. So, I mean, you have seen me. You've seen tons of me lately because Alexia just can't keep up, and I understand, So if I had back problems, I would not be doing this. So, but yeah. So, oh, sorry for that. I turned off my keyboard. So here we go with the Allman Brothers on the shorter side, but here we go. Let's go and see what this track is all about. All right, here we go. Trouble No More.
Bring you home someday.
So this reminds me a lot of Deep Purple. Almost played backwards. The ba da ba dum bum ba da dum. Like, but if you like kind of like play it backwards, it's ba da. No, wait, it's like ba dum bum bum. The ba da ba da ba da ba da bum bum. Ba dum bum bum ba dum bum. Bottom bum 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 bottom bum 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 bottom 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 bum bum bottom bum 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 bottom bum 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 bum. You know, Black Knight, Deep Purple. It sounds a little bit, you know, on the, I guess it's the pentatonic scale that they're using here, or the blues scale as well. So yeah, it reminds me just in a very good way. You know, this is from 1969. Black Knight, Deep Purple. I don't really recall when that. I think it came out a lot later. So but yeah, but I just love, you know, drawing some comparisons here. So Allman Brothers, great soloing here with the I always have it handy because I do try to use it a lot, but I'm still working on it. It's a very difficult technique, and I don't really know sometimes what finger to use for the slide. You know, I have tried everything. On the pinky, it's just horrible because it basically like this finger becomes useless. So because if this is like, you know, they're like kind of like connected. So same like this. I put it on the second one sometimes. Well, you know. If you know any good lessons on YouTube for slide, let me know. Here we go. Let's continue. Very good tune. I loved it. Very cool. So now the Marshall Tucker Band is gonna step in with this 13-minute epic. Well, it's 12 minutes and 33 seconds, but it's an epic, so I'm sure there's a lot of improvisation going on. Let's take a listen here. Let's see what they're made of. I mean, I know what they're made of, but listen again. The people in the crowd, I love it.
said she loved me, Lord, that ain't all. She said every day. Every day. I said every day. Every day I have to.
I love the crowd, man. Ooh. Okay. Wow. So now he's gonna play a lot, like a different like shuffle. Very cool. Like I just got into like the whole blues thing very late. Like I have to explain because when I started to play guitar, I started with classical guitar, which is more like the thumb and the fingers, and it's classical music, Bach and Beethoven and just like all the exercises and studies that they are, and when you learn how to read and stuff. So and then right off from classical and like into heavy metal. And yes, heavy metal, there's a lot of heavy metal players who use a lot of blues in their soloing, but it kind of gets disguised and it mixed up, with the classical scales, like modes. There's all these modes: Mixolydian mode and Lydian, and Ionian, and oh my god, and when you learn those and you do the melodic minor scale or harmonic minor or and stuff like that, so, and the pentatonic scale, yes, is it's there, but I basically never used that too much, like I never really had somebody to play the blues with. We were always more playing metal, and I was doing like more like arpeggios and tapping and very fast runs, and I don't know. So and now and then, the only two players that I would listen to on a constant basis were David Gilmour and Mark Knopfler, and they're of course very inspired by the blues, and they're playing David Gilmour more in his bending. He does very amazing, like he overbends the strings, and like that's just a beautiful technique to learn and to master and to hold those bends and get more like a romantic. I mean, when you listen to the solos of Pink Floyd in the later, like the 70s and 80s, it's very like there's a lot of feel, and he gets that from the blues. And Mark Knopfler is more like the blues player that like this, but never really, like I never really listened to Stevie Ray Vaughan or BB King or Clapton or people like that. So, but now with this channel, I'm getting all this information, and I can see how my playing is kind of changing because I'm adding more blues. But this is fantastic. It's just such a display of, musical ideas within the blues scale, within the pentatonic scale. It's so cool. And then you can also hear how fast he is. He doesn't really do it all this because you don't have to, man. Especially when you play blues, you can just play very slow, and because it's like talking. So yeah, I'm enjoying this very much. What a great player. I don't know the name of the guitar player here, but what a guy. And now this here, they changed it up to play an even slower version of the blues. So let's go with that. So let's I wanted to take a little, pause to explain what I think about this, but I think it's very good. I think it's very, very important. And without the blues, then of course there's no real jazz, So they're connected with each other very, very strongly. Let's continue. And the crowd.
every day I have to sing those blues. Thank you. Good night.
Wow. What a track. This was great. This was amazing. Thank you so much. Okay, so now we're gonna go with another longer track of the Outlaws. And this is called Green Grass and High Tides. Here we go.
Any place you only dream of, where your soul is always free. Silver stages, golden curtains filled by head-played as could be. As a rainbow grew around the sun, all my stars of love who died came from somewhere beyond the sea to see. These lovely people played just for me. If I let you see this place where stories all ring true, will you let me past your face to see what's really you? It's not for me, I ask this question as though I were a king. For you have to love, believe, and feel before the burst of tambourines take you there. Green grass and high tides forever, castles of stone, soul and glory. Lost faces say we adore you, as kings and queens bow and play for you.
solo was amazing, and that's like literally what I feel when I listen to like the Eagles. You know, their solos are so good, so well written. Really, like, I mean, those bands he was doing, diddle ding, diddle ding. You know, the intention is there, so cool. Really, really cool. Like this band, I mean, the playing is just. I mean, I don't want to say anything about the other bands, but the solos here are just like almost. It doesn't sound as improvised because the other one was of course improvisation. This sounds more like a written solo. You know the difference when you sit down and you okay, I'm gonna have these chords, I'm gonna write this solo. It's gonna sound like this every time I play it. And this sounds more a little bit more like written, and the other one sounds more improvised. And I think both are amazing. Because I think when you improvise, comes out the best. But it's always also nice to write a nice solo that's just very harmonious. It has its moment, its peaks, and stuff like that. So yeah, really cool band, the Outlaws. I love them.
Find your souls and set them free. Those who do believe in love as time will be your key. Time and time again I thank them for a peace of mind. But hope I find myself amongst the music and the rhyme that enchant you there. Green grass and high tides forever. Castles of snow, salt and glory. Faces say we adore you, as kings and queens bow and play for you. Yeah, they play just for you.
was oh my god. So, I mean, I've heard it all, you know. I've heard some really crazy like solos, and of course, like with different technique and you know, like you know, all that kind of stuff. But it gets kind of stale after a while, you know, especially. But this is like so much fun. It's like I know that they're bending and doing it, but at this level, it's you know, it's a master. Um, and then I know they were not doing tapping. I was doing the tapping, but I know they're like stretching. They're like, and it's just really fantastic to hear. Thank you, Jeff. This was like a master class in like, you know, blues soloing. You know, like I'm picking up a lot from this because I could give an example, but I don't want to make it too long. I'm gonna make it in a different video for but just the difference between just playing, learning with classical scales and you know compared to this, which is obviously more blues inspired, but man, what this solo at the end was like, oh my god, how are they even doing this? But I mean, I have a faint idea how to do it, but I remember when I would first listen to guys like Jason Becker, who's a very neoclassical player, and then he would do like these 6-string arpeggios, like, and I had no visual aid how he was doing that. I was like, how would he do that? How? And he was sweeping across the strings like this, like very very fast. So as a newbie to the guitar, it's like, but now I can, even though I don't know how to play the blues like this or at that speed, I have like a visual aid in my mind because I've been doing it long enough to see what are they actually doing. So yeah, but it's a lot of fun. It's so much fun to hear these players. And what I think is the most outrageous thing is that they were doing it so early on, like the late 60s, the early 70s. They're already playing like this. And then there were the fusion players, you know, the jazz players who were obviously doing also a lot of stuff that was very complicated. But these guys were defending themselves as well with their technique, you know. It's very hard to play like this and to be clean and good and to hold, you know, a bend and stuff like that. So awesome. Thank you so much, Jeff, for this awesome marathon. It was a lot of fun. Very cool musical direction that I'm, you know, really enjoying that I had no idea. I mean, I guess the most was like Eagles and Dire Straits in that direction, you know, and maybe like Leonard Skinner, which I don't know a lot of. I've heard Freebird and the epic solo at the end and stuff, but this is really good. Like, thank you so much for steering me in this direction. Thank you so much. Anybody who wants to, of course, comment is welcome. Who is your favorite guitar player of this style? Or do you like, what do you think about different guitar styles on, you know, like, are you a guitar player? What do you think about this style versus, let's say, a more rock style or neoclassical or classical guitar, you know? Let me know what you think, and thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Jeff, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.